Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you to yet another important free webinar program organized by the Society for Health Innovation and Research Academy. Let me share a few reminders with you before we proceed with today's lecture. Access to today's session will close promptly at 9:50 a.m. and late attendees will not be admitted beyond this time. As you know, by participating in this program, you can earn 1.5 CPD points, and to earn your certificate and CPD points, it is essential to attend the webinar in its entirety, as the Sri webinar series strictly adheres to NCCPD guidelines. I may remind you that kindly keep your microphones and videos turned off throughout the session to minimize disruptions and ensure a seamless experience for all participants. You are encouraged to ask questions via the chat options at any time, and there will also be an opportunity to address your queries at the end of the lecture. After the webinar concludes, stay another few minutes and ensure you fill out the Google form provided to facilitate the receiving of your CPD certificate via email. This form must be submitted before 11 a.m. today. We sincerely appreciate your cooperation in ensuring a smooth session for everyone. Without further ado, now let's move on to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Dr. Chamika Senanayake, Acting Consultant in Health Informatics, Ministry of Health, Sri Lanka. He is a highly accomplished health informatician who has an impressive portfolio of research and professional achievements, including contributions to key public health information systems in Sri Lanka. Today's lecture, I hope we all have doubts and interests. Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare, Transforming Medicine with an Ethical Lens, will be a thought-provoking and timely discussion. Artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving in modern medicine and changing healthcare in various ways. However, this rapid integration also raises important ethical considerations as well. Dr. Chamika, with extensive expertise in health informatics, digital innovation, and hospital information systems, not only in Sri Lanka, but also in the United Kingdom, will be the best resource for developing a valuable discussion on these intersections of technology, medicine, and ethics. Let us now warmly welcome Dr. Chamika to lead us through today's informative lecture. Over to you, Dr. Chamika.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So thank you so much, Shri. I want to personally thank Shri Academy to providing this wonderful opportunity. And also thank you all the participants for investing your time on the Sunday day. Yeah, everybody's chilled out. And also I really enjoyed the music which played before because it reminds me of the Bryan Adams concerts which happened in Sri Lanka a long time back. So without further ado, so as you can see, my topic is about AI in healthcare. So I think it's kind of a buzzword these days. But I think not everyone can, understands the actual theory and practicalities behind that. So I show you a picture which is generated by AI, by which I prompted as the future of Sri Lanka using the using the chat GPT and all the image processing, image and regenerative image protocols. So if you so what the AI thinks about healthcare in Sri Lanka. So this image portrays like the futuristic healthcare ecosystem in Sri Lanka, encompassing AI-driven surgical rooms, telemedicine hubs, linking urban hospitals to rural areas. If you can see the national flag, so it emphasized the keeping the Sri Lankan's identity. And if you can see the inclusivity by using, people who are on wheelchairs and like a female, all the gendered allocation. And also it display all the screens displays information in Sinhala, Tamil, English, and so the atmosphere is vibrant, collaborative, reflecting a forward-thinking approach and all the facets of medicine in a culturally relevant yet globally competitive context. So the main question: what is AI? So artificial intelligence is the mainly it's the ability of computer or computer control robot to perform tasks that are commonly associated with the intellectual processes and characteristics of human, such as the ability to reason, although there is no AIs that match the full extent of the with domains and the with much knowledge. So some AIs performs the task like pretty much similar. But the thing is, the evolution of the definition, I mean, it's very interesting. So when it comes to 1950s, like AI means the whatever the system which passes the game of Turing test. Turing test means like there's a human, like a computer, and the human judge. So that kind of they perform various tasks and that kind of thing. So sometimes also not during this timeline, there's was another phase. Artificial intelligence means the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. So you can see on the right corner, there's a how it has been evolved over the time. So at the moment, you can see a rapid encouragement. I think with this is only 2010, according to the latest figures. I'm pretty sure it's going above the roof. So let's see. Let's think about the classifications of AI. So generally, there are there are three main classifications based on the staging, like artificial narrow AI, artificial general AI, and artificial super AI. So narrow intelligence ANI, it's known as the weak AI, is the only type of AI that exists today. It's hard to say. So any other form of AI is very theoretical. So it can be trained to perform only a single or narrow task, often far faster and better than a human mind can. So, however, it can't perform outside the defined task intelligence. Instead, it targets single subset of cognitive abilities like in that spectrum, such as Siri, Alexa, and Amazon's Alexa, IBM Watson, those kind of things. So let's talk about artificial general intelligence or AGI. So, so it's today nothing more than a theoretical concept, to be frank. So AGI can use previous learnings and skills accomplished to accomplish new tasks in a different context without the need for human beings to train the underlying models. So this ability showed AGI to learn and perform in intellectual tasks and that being can. So let's talk about superhuman AI, super AI. So it is mainly referred to as artificial super intelligence. So it's very strictly theoretical, even if it's realized, like super AI would think, reason, learn, and make judgment and possesses cognitive abilities that surpass those of even humans as well. So application processing super AI capabilities will have evolved beyond the point of understanding of our human sentiments and the experience to feel emotions, have needs, and possesses beliefs and desires of their own as well. So when it comes and as you can know, there are so many jargons coming in. This on this diagram shows kind of a overview of how they are linked in, such as you must have heard machine learning. It's kind of a one branch of the artificial intelligence. So you get cognitive and learning, cognition and learning perception, natural language processing that includes natural language understanding and genesis, computer vision, behavior, clustering, so many. It's a vast area which I'm trying to cover within this limited time. I'm not going to cover everything, but I'm pretty sure I hope I'll be able to do the ethical part as well. So when it comes to the let me just erase this stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, according to latest classification, there are two types of intelligence, type 1 and type 2. So type 1 is mainly based on the competency, and the type 2 is mainly based on the functionality. So type 1, as I mentioned earlier, there's narrow, general, and strong AI. And type 2 has like the reactive machines, and limited memory, theory of mind, self-awareness based on the maturity of the this context. For example, at the moment we have only the reactive machines. So one of the $1 million questions, where is ChatGPT, our most favorite one these days? So they claim, I mean, they could reasonably viewed as the early stage of artificial general intelligence systems. This is due to it's a mastery of language. It's mainly a language processing model. So anyway, it works on the data and the data sets and the training models which the humans has already provided. It doesn't have the capability to think or reason out by themselves. So I think however, I think person called Sam Altman, like CEO of ChatGPT, says ChatGPT is even CEO itself. It's not even close to an AGI model because for it's designed to perform specific tasks such as generating text, answering questions, and simulating conversations. So it excels these tasks but cannot operate outside its program domain or generalized knowledge across unrelated domains like human. So examples, so as you experience, it answers user queries, assists you in writing, coding, brainstorming ideas, kind of thing. So, but ChatGPT is not the only one. There are some other key, same models such as IBM Watson, like Gemini by Google. So I had a kind of a deep dig through especially the darknet websites. I mean, when we are surfing the website, it's just only I think we are by Googling and everything, have access to about, I think, 5 or 10% of the entire information which is online. So when you access dark web, there are certain projects which has been like WikiLeaks and everything. So they have recently announced there's a open AI project called Strawberry, which has the similar, almost reaching the AGI standards. That means it can take a problem and like humans, it can kind of I mean disaggregate into multiple steps, and so it solves those problems in a stepwise manner. So let's talk about healthcare applications. So these are some of at the moment, I mean, it can be used for rare disease diagnostics and treatment, virtual nursing assistants, yeah, fraud detections, cybersecurity, gene editing, AI robot assisted surgery, health monitoring and wearables, personalized health plans, cancer research, dosage, error reduction, medical diagnosis, and drug reprocessing. So, what are the popular applications of AI? So, if they take diagnosis and early detection, there is something called Google DeepMind, detects over 50 eye diseases from OCT scans. So accuracy comparable to leading ophthalmologists. And Path AI, which assists pathologists in diagnosing cancer by analyzing biopsy images for pattern and abnormalities. And there's another one called IDXDR. It's a FDA-approved AI system to detecting diabetic retinopathy from retinal images. So, and there's for personalized treatment, there's IBM Watson Health. It assists. I'll get back to you in detail in next slides. And there's something called Tempus. It analyzes genomic and clinical data to recommend targeted therapies for cancer patients. And in silico medicine, which use a duck repurposing. And there's also virtual health assistant site like Ada Health app. Like they are mostly support patient engagement, symptom checking, and telemedicine application like Ada Health, Babylon Health, and even famous Mayo Clinic chatbot. So when it comes to administrative efficacies, there are some products online, which called Alive AI, Nuisance DAX, and Zebra Medical Visions. So which kind of deals with automating the repetitive tasks like insurance claims, eligibility checks, Nuance DAX. It's a very powerful speech recognition tool for documenting clinical conversation automatically. And Zebra Medical Vision, it automate the billing and coding processes using medical imaging and natural language processing. This is emerging phase of the AI, like robotic surgeries. So at the moment, there exists like Da Vinci surgical system. It's a AI-powered robotic platform for minimally invasive surgeries, enhancing precision and reducing recovery times. And Medtronic Mazer, it assists in spinal surgeries. And Intuitive Ion, it's an AI-based robotic system for minimally invasive lung biopsies. So, and also one of the coolest thing is like they have a lot of variety of predictive analytic products. So, such as Health Catalyst, Blue Dot, and Sepsis Watch, that kind of thing. So, especially it was mainly the Sepsis Watch is, I think, endorsed by the Duke University. So it's an AI monitors patients' vitals and predicts sepsis onset, enabling timely treatment. And when it comes to mental health support systems, so there's Warbot, Mind Strong Health, Talkspace are one of the leading products in that region. And drug discovery and development, there's Atomwise, Excitia, and Benevolent AI. So it uses AI to predict drug efficiency, helping researchers to discover new drugs. So even the Benevolent AI is identified an existing rheumatoid arthritis drug and as a potential treatment for COVID-19 as well. And this is one of your favorites, like wearable devices, those Fitbit, Apple Watch. I think those algorithms, I think, analyze your heart rate, activity levels, sleep patterns to, I think you have already experienced that, providing health insights. And Bioformers, it uses the wearables to predict the heart failure by monitoring patients' vitals and altering doctors about anomalies. And Embrace 2 detects epileptic seizures by analyzing data from the wearable sensors. So it's kind of very high tech now. And when it comes to epidemiology and public health, you get Blue Dot. It AI flagged it's a AI system which flagged the outbreak of COVID-19. So actually, when retrospectively, it flagged outbreak of COVID-19 9 days before the WHO announced it. And also AI for dengue prediction, like from Microsoft. So it predicts dengue outbreaks in Brazil using climate, population, and healthcare data at the moment. So I'll talk about some of the main products in brief. So if you take Google DeepMind techniques, there are, huge number of products in line for alpha, such as uh, AlphaFold is for like protein genesis and SynthID, Imagen, Penaki, AlphaGo, that kind of things. Let me go to the next slide. So for medical image analysis, they use the DeepMind Health Moorfields High Hospital. This is a hospital in UK. So they use the the Google DeepMind to analyze retinal imaging to early detection of age-related macular degenerations. And for also mainly Google DeepMind products they use, it has been used for MRI and CT scans to assist radiologists. And one main popular application in UK is DeepMind collaboration with the NHS to implement a system to identify acute kidney injury and sepsis detection, I told you as earlier, and for protein folding, which I said alpha folding AI, and clinical decision support systems. I think it's upcoming trend in most of the electronic health records in the future, which gives you suggestions of when you enter the symptoms and do all the clinical administrative work. And EHR optimization, like patient record summaries. For that also, I think Google DeepMind, they have research methods to improve the usability of EHR. This includes like the AI algorithm to summarize the patient records, making it easier to clinicians to access relevant information during the patient encounters. Also, and healthcare operation management, like health hospital resource allocation, and also, I mean, they have given a lot of system. So as I told you before, I think Google, I think for acute kidney injuries and there's a collaboration in the NHS Royal Free London Hospital. So if we take a deep look at that, it's a startup and a revelation. So data, direct care and consent. They have developed a national algorithm for acute kidney injury detection. So the problem is challenges. So they don't have the lack of clarity and openness in collaboration, and the privacy and power issues emerged as a significant challenge. So what are the lessons we learned? We do not know and have no power to find out what the Google DeepMind are really doing with not just patient data, nor the royalty meaningful extent of the royalties meaningful control over the Google's DeepMind doing. So, and the amount of data transferred is so far in excess of the required for publicly stated needs. And and another problem is the data transfer was done without consulting relevant regulatory bodies. So that's also one of the I mean take home messages when we go to that kind of AI developments. And none of the millions of identified individuals in the dataset were either informed or impending transfer to DeepMind nor asked their consent. That was one of even NHS. It happens. And the transfer relies on the argument of DeepMind is a direct care relationship with each patient that has been admitted to the Royal Pre-Considered hospitals. Even though the DeepMind is developing an app that will only consider by the treatment of 1/6 of the individual. So more than 12 months into the deal is made, no regulatory had issued any comment or pushback. So that's one of the dangers of AI. I mean, once even implemented, nobody has any idea about that with, especially regulatory bodies. And one of the another implementation is Behold.ai. They support image and scans. I mean, it is FDA approved. It's a popular system in UK. So I mean, according to their system, I think you can detect like lung cancer using the AI system within diagnose and everything within 1 hour and 40 minutes. And also they have developed a similar set system to flag intracranial hemorrhages and acute infarcts using the HCN systems as well, Red Dot. So these are some of the case studies, I mean, of Behold AI. I mean, using the Red Dot and Red Dot systems. So they have been used in the Calderwood and Huddersfield NHS Trust, Somerset, and Mid and South Sussex NHS Trust. And also it's been used for in Apollo Hospital, India as well. And also US to detect AI based pneumothorax triage as well. So the applications are endless. So let's talk about the Watson for oncology. It's artificial intelligence assistant detect decision system. So this Watson oncology software is it's not a software. It says they use it as software as a service that delivers advanced abilities to analyze the meaning and context of structured and unstructured data in clinical notes and reports easily, assimilating key patient information written in plain English, which is very relevant for us. So it's currently implemented in United States, India, China, Thailand, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, South Korea, Vietnam, and United Kingdom as well. So according to meta-analysis, I think I've shown the results. So these are some of the meta-analysis they have done. So the red is color indicates the not recommended. For blue color, it's for recommended, and for green color, it's not recommended, and this color is for not existent as well. So the idea is the overall treatment co-condensed between the Watson for oncology, the multidisciplinary team, divide is based on the stage and the pathology category as well. So, what are the advantages? It improves doctors' work efficiency and reduces workload, prevents man-made calculation errors, improve the quality of doctor-patient communications, and prevent doctor-patient disputes. And it can reduce risk burden on patients. It can improve the professional level of young doctors because they'll be telling that. But the disadvantages. So different treatment schemes are there, different drug choices are there. It can lead to a lot of complications, and economic factors is always an issue in this part of the world. So what we have learned, so we should not follow the recommendations of AI technologies blindly. So Watson for Oncology acts as an assistant to doctors, but not a replacement. And you have heard about Tesla, Elon Musk, and everything. So I'm pretty sure you must have heard about the Neuralink, which is founded in 2017, with several other scientists, collaboration with neuroscientists from various universities, like plus 300 employees implantable brain computer interface. So it's a brain chip. So it was started in 2017. So at the moment, in fact, interesting. Fact is like in 2021, it demonstrated a monkey playing with game of Pong using a neural link implantation. So by this year, I think it has successfully demonstrated human trial with a 29-year-old quadriplegic person with C4 to C5 spinal vertebra dislocation. So it's just like a small chip implanted into your brain with like a battery and the chipset and electronics and the thread and the biocompatible enclosure. So what are the, potential uses? It can use for treat neurological disorder treatment, brain injury rehabilitation, monitoring and diagnosis, psychiatric disorders, pain management, research and drug development, and assistive devices and neuroprosthetics like that. So what if Neuralink evolves into another wearable device like our Fitbits and Apple Watches? And acquiring capability to transfer knowledge real time from human to human through it. That's another potential. So acquiring capability into real time control, different human body. Those are endless possibilities. So what are the future trends of AI? So according to, President's research, I think they predict in 2030 there will be 187 billion USD in investment on 2030. And the most interesting part is currently, I think most of the investment is gone towards the robot assisted surgery and virtual nurses assistant and administrative workflow enhancement for AI investments. So all these investments, we have to think about what the perception of our colleagues healthcare, with AI integration. So according to research, the majority believe that AI can enhance the productivity, and but there is always a skepticism about whether AI will fully integrate their roles, like 40% expressing uncertainty about its readiness to handle complex medical tasks, and fear of job displacement. I think that's a very important thing. So 30% of healthcare workers fear that AI may lead to replacement of administrative and diagnostic roles. And for example, and the worsening that situation, the studies indicates like radiologists and medical transcriptionists, like all the clerk work, among the most vulnerable, although these fears may be exaggerated due to a collaborative nature of AI. So, and the optimism about role enhancement, like 65% believe that AI will enhance decision making and improve the patient outcomes by reducing diagnostic errors. So professionals should view AI as a tool to minimize their administrative burden, allowing greater focus on patient clinical activities. And more than 70% feel unprepared to work with AI is another challenge. And upskilling is seen as a critical and ensuring that professionals remain competitive and relevant in an AI-driven landscape. So when it comes to ethical and professional concerns, 40% response they worry about the AI driven decisions overriding clinical judgments like that. So the thing is, I think with the AI maturation, there's always people, I mean, who will lose jobs, but they will be creating new jobs as well. So the main key is to update ourselves, improve our necessary skills and knowledge and hence all the attitudes. Because the thing is, like with our time, this is a framework developed about regarding the job related changes when it comes to AI. So when it comes to if you, for example, if you get the AI knowledge, so produces the relevant needed skills, and so with the like, for example, if you take the IT industry, so now no longer all the coders like basic, basic procedure coding people, they are kind of at the risk of losing their jobs. But the thing is, the new trend is they have to update into the AI based coding and software development, those kind of things. So for them, I think the in future when it comes to employability, AI related jobs and doing AI related qualifications will play a vital role in your CV and your job applications. So as you know, there is I mean, there are a lot of cognitive analysis. There are so many jargons when it comes to the AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cancer, mortality, those things. But what it is, the true face, it's at the moment, the current stage, it's just an algorithm. So if it's like this, then you should do this. If it's else, or do like this. That kind of a algorithmic thing going on when it comes to AI. That's the true face of AI. So these are all human made ones. So we always can introduce bias and make errors. So that's where the ethical thing, I mean, ethical aspect comes on. So ethics is called as a moral philosophy, and it's a discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad and morally right or wrong. The term is also applied to the system or theory of moral values in or principles. So what do you think about laws and ethics? Law is an obligation on the part of the society imposed by the competent authorities. Ethics is considered as a study of and building a coherent set of rules, principles by which people ought to live on it, right? So if you there's a hierarchy of ethical decision. For example, I mean, in the bottommost levels, like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it has the economic responsibilities. So legal responsibilities are there. So the ethical responsibilities comes above the law and economic responsibilities. So be mindful about that. And above that, it comes like the philanthropic responsibilities. So I think as medical doctors, we have obliged to this. It comes way long way back in 5th century BC with the Hippocratic Code. So to be honest, I mean, this is not the exact oath we were sworn, I think, at the medical council. It's another version of it. So as you can know, with medical ethics, like kind of it had a very bad experience in the world, such as when it comes to World War, where the Nuremberg Code was developed. So when it because of the unethical experimentation which has happened at the concentration camps by Germans, Nazis. And also with that time, I think there was a Declaration of Geneva, which was adopted by the World Medical Association General Assembly in 1948 with a lot of amendments. And I think this is the main physician's oath we take, I think, when we get the registration. I think all our doctors has gone through that. And with the time, with all the world wars, there was a Helsinki Declaration. These are some interesting topic to, stimulate your thought processes, which you can do a lot of detailed background reading as a very interesting thing. So there's also, you should know, there's something called International Code of Medical Ethics, which was endorsed by the World Medical Association in 2006. So it applies for both peace and wars and like that. So what about Sri Lanka? So at the moment, I think as far as I know, there is a for ethical review committee guidelines for there for ethical research, and for medical when it comes to healthcare, I think that there are SLNC guidelines, which is one of the main bodies to combat the ethical dilemmas and attend all the ethical decisions. And also there, when it comes to information, my field, I think there is something called Data Protection Act. Now it's implemented. So, and also from the Ministry of Health, we also provide a lot of guidelines, such as from the health information unit, such as National Digital Health Guidelines and Standards. So, when you're free, please just download them, have a read through. It's very interesting and very informative. So, you won't make any mistakes. Unknowingly. But those are the only things. But in United Kingdom, that they have General Medical Council. They have a lot of regulatory bodies which are active, proactive. So Nursing Midwifery Council, Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority, and especially Care Quality Commission, which aggregates all the NHS trust and all the healthcare working landscapes, and Health Watch, Professional Standards Authority. There are so many bodies which regulates the ethical aspect in UK. So let's talk about the principles and adverse effects. So when it comes to ethics, there are like several fundamental principles, such as like autonomy, uh, like like all persons should have like fundamental right for self-determinations, and all persons should are equal as persons and have a right to be treated accordingly. And the third point is all persons have a duty to advance the good or of others, where the nature of this good is in keeping with the fundamentals and ethically defensible values of the affected party. And the fourth point is all persons have a duty to prevent harm to others insofar as it lies within their power to do so without undue harm to themselves. And impossibility refers to all rights and duties hold subject to the condition that is possible to meet them under circumstances that obtain. And integrity means like the whoever had an obligation has a corresponding duty to fulfill that obligation to best of her or his ability. And similarly, when it comes to our health informatics domains, there are several principles of that ethics, such as information privacy disposition. We should be open about the data on when it comes to collection, storage, access, use, and communication manipulation, like that. We should adhere to security, and the principle of access is there, and legitimate infringement, latest interest, safe alternative, and accountability, which are endorsed by the ethics of human health informatics by the EMEA code. So what happens, let's say, if the when it comes to ethical breach of adverse effects of breach of ethics. So Uh, so ethics can be breached by so many. So one of the popular ones are like maybe by our family members, probably spouse or child of care relevance, who are maybe healthcare employees in the same place. So I'm pretty sure, I think most of the you have experienced that maybe you ask for a patient's details from some relative from your within the hospital. So that's kind of a dangerous, although we don't realize without getting the consent from the patient. And healthcare employees using the system to find the history of hopeful future partners. So, and non-healthcare staff accessing for healthcare information. Those are some of the popular ways of getting breached. So what are the effects? So it can cause family disharmony, divorces, children losing respect for their parents, and suicide, isolation from the community, threat, blackmail, political coup when the leader's health is divulged into the public. And what about the impact of the healthcare system? Patients tend to not to divulge the true story in front of, because in our cultural context, I think patients, they trust only they are when it comes to information, they trust only the doctors and the lawyers when whatever they do. So that thing can go, bizarre. And also patients avoiding computerized healthcare and institutions and high demand for quacks. Yeah, and avoiding care sick. So those are some of the main adverse effects on the healthcare system itself. So let's talk about the ethical considerations of AI in the healthcare. So AI is definitely biased. I think it can definitely lead to bias. For AI models can inherit bias from because it's at the moment and in the current context, the training data and everything is used by provided by the humans. so leading to inequities and healthcare delivery, particularly for underrepresented population. So I think when it comes to the AI system, we cannot, let's say, if we want to adopt any AI system to Sri Lanka, we should be mindful because those AI systems may be trained using a different population. It might be giving insight based on that population. So that's where something we have to be careful about when we adopt AI into Sri Lankan context. So I think you must have really noticed AI-based racism is there. I think sorry to say, I think when you apply for overseas jobs and like especially in UK and other countries, so all our application CVs, they always run through an AI detection system. So sometimes those algorithms can, generate racism as well. So it's a very practical approach. I'm pretty sure you must have, or your relatives may have experience that. And the privacy and data security, the reliance of extensive patient data necessary to stringent measurement to protect privacy and prevent misuse as well. And the accountability and liability. So determining who is responsible for AI errors made by AI systems remains still a critical concern. It's not only for healthcare, I think for everything. So for nowadays, when you to take social media, there are tons of AI generated content and images, so there is no proper uh, responsibility, accountability for AI generated content when it comes to intellectual property laws and stuff. So transparency, and that's one of the key important things because many AI models operates as a black box. You put the information in, you get an output. You don't know what was going on inside that black box. So it can challenge to audit and opaque as well. So the human-centric care, so over-reliance of AI could undermine the empathetic and holistic aspects of the human nature. Because AI is mainly not meant for at the moment. It's not adhering to the emotional and all those contexts, so many other contexts, non-language. So we depend. So as we know, even most of the people at the what they do is like if you get a question, you ask ChatGPT everything, right? So I'm pretty sure, and sometimes you tend to believe the ChatGPT is the best answer. So sometimes, most of the time, it does, but there are places. So let's talk about deepfake AI, right? So now I think they create music from deepfake AI, and I think pretty sure you must have seen on Facebook of a popular fake video of Morgan. So it was very realistic, and and also there are like AI based vocal cloners. So when it comes to the its danger side, I think anyone can be subject to the identity theft, and it can be related to the the disaster effects is like very unimaginable. So when as I think social media users, I think we post a lot of photos, Facebook photos, Instagram, from what we ate in the morning and to the night, and we do that. But the thing is, you should understand why Facebook and or Instagram, those things are free of charge because in my opinion, nothing in this world is free. So I think they get your data and they do the spatial analysis of the images and they come to, after that, they can do predictive analytics. So simply as that. So we are providing data for social media by posting. So if we are very concerned about the security and the privacy, so it's when it comes, it's a double-edged sword. Like there are levels of privacy and importance of your data, your photo, maybe something simple photo you may think it's not a big issue, but in the hands of a right person with the AI deepfake can lead to disastrous effect. It depends on your status and your political and those things as well. So when it comes to healthcare, I think there are two arms when it comes to the deepfake. A recent study showed, like for example, a deepfake AI has been used for grief support, health benefits like social benefits, And also the other way it has caused like false information, psychological impact, and cyberbullying and identity theft, as I mentioned before. So the main question is, are we ready for AI in healthcare? So technology maturity, current because at the currently the when it comes to technological maturity, AI applications such as diagnostic imaging, precision medicine, and robotic surgeries have demonstrated like significant efficacy. And for example, for AI systems like those analyzing radiology scans can outperform the human radiologists in specific times according to research evidence. And adoption trends, AI is increasingly being integrated into the electronic health records, but not in Sri Lanka, but most of the places, even in UK and especially in the Middle East countries, I have experienced that they do wonders on the clinical decision support systems. And the global investments, it's and private sectors are heavily investing on AI research and healthcare infrastructure based on that. And what are the barriers? Like ethical concerns, like bias, lack of transparency, data privacy remain major barriers. Bias in AI can be exacerbate disparities in the healthcare delivery, particularly among the underrepresented population, which I mentioned earlier. And it's so difficult to regulate AI with the rapid development because the always, I mean, if you have identified if you develop a virus, at the other end, we see an antivirus it developed. For example, it applies for medicine and even the technology. I think you have when it comes to COVID, also it's kind of like that. So, but the thing is about AI is like the AI development phases. I think very it's developing at a very rapid pace than the regulatory mechanism. For example, we use AI chatbots and everything to, write an article sometimes. But also, on the other end, there is another sector which develops AI detection tools like Turnitin and stuff like that. Because of their, their sensitivity. So sometimes even if we write some article by originally, maybe it can be detected as AI as well, especially with Turnitin. It happens a lot because I think the material we read and material we generate, we deal with, so it always infringed in our minds. And so we try to imitate that. So that's one of the main challenges. So the acceptance trap, the black box phenomenon I mentioned earlier. And when it comes to the infrastructure, developing nations face infrastructure challenges, including lack of digital records, high quality data, robust networks, which is the main issue in Sri Lanka as well. So, how can we move forward? We should build transparency and ethical AI, like such as using bias mitigation, like developing data sets like for training AI models, ensuring they represent all the population fairly. And whatever AI, I think it should be explainable. I think there are a lot of online courses by the Harvard Business, and I think they are coming up specifically courses on explainable AI. That's another buzzword these days. And also ethical guidelines, establish global and local ethical standards to govern AI development and usage in healthcare. And we had to strengthen the regulatory frameworks by standardized protocols and liability models and cybersecurity measures. And I think we don't have to create a fear against the AI. I think we should develop a culture to AI, collaborated AI. So, as I mentioned earlier, we should take it as an augmentation, not a replacement. So, assist the, so I mean, uh, so that's like another, debate, I think. So when it comes to training and education, AI is like it's a gold mine for the possibilities. So when it comes to focus on public engagement, patient awareness, because I think AI does it better than us. I think because I think as medical professional in Sri Lanka, I think we get overloaded with patients. Like I think we see about 100 patients per day or something like that in clinics. So we get fatigued. Like we are humans. So I think most of the AI-based chatbots, and if we feed the proper algorithms and everything, they would be very beneficial for the public. So, I mean, we could program the AI to be very courteous, very kind, and like that, at the same time, getting the relevant information like that. And the community involvement like refers to the engaged diverse communities by discussions about AI to address cultural and ethical concerns, and also leverage pilot programs in real world studies. So evidence we had to support whatever AI implementation we should generate proper evidence like clinical trials and pilot programs to validate AI application in real world settings, which has been happening already. But we should be more supportive towards that. And iterative feedback mechanisms, those are some of the ways we could move on for next steps. So I mean, it's been happening in the real world scenario. From actually, I had the experience in UK. Uh, for example, uh, this is based on I mean, which I experienced in UK, and also it has been a publication as well. And like they talk about the ethical barriers of to artificial intelligence in national NHS, UK, and Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So so they found like 51% of the people surveyed in the UK were concerned about their data privacy as the use of by the use of AI, and patients' data being used as exploitable resource for purposes and other than those for which the data were originally collected. And when it comes, there is a transparency and accountability issue. Like even according to their survey, only 20% of the respondents support the use of artificial intelligence in healthcare. And always there is a cost benefit dilemma in health AI research as well. So currently, how they have tackled it, the UK government, they introduced the National Data Option Out program for patient information in 2018. That means when you get registered to the healthcare system, and you always get an option out. I mean, that decision whether to share your, even if you go to the UK right now, when you register for NHS, there's always an option whether uh, to you, I mean, whether your data can be shared or not shared if you have privacy concern like that. So they take it really seriously. So, and the development of transparent machine learning techniques, they are researching on that. And they learned that efforts need to be made not only to ensure that practice are sufficient to empower with education or current technology. So the outlook can be the developers and providers must adhere to the same data regulations and control and avoid inappropriate data exploitation. And data use must be subjected to relevant multidisciplinary, ethical, and legal consideration. All the specialties have to work collaboratively, and they have to come into one page. And training and capacity building on technical aspects of enabling to detect, investigate, and fix AI failures. Because at the moment in Sri Lanka, I think we use AI, but there's no one to detect bugs or fix AI problem failures. And updated code of conduct need to be a practice need to guide the practices and benchmark code standards, code breaker processes, and political attention to address. They have identified that about the political attention to address the current policy limitations and gaps within the NHS trust. And also, academic researchers, including embedded stakeholder engagement, is one of their outlooks. So I think this is my final slide. I think so. My key message is the empowering healthcare with AI is just not about innovation. It's about humanity, ethics, and a future where technology and compassion healing together. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Chamika. And we can see the chat box is buzzing with questions, and that indicates your active participation with us. But I'm afraid that with the available time, we could go for all the questions. But I have chosen one question because most of our participants have asked that question. Dr. Chamika, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Actually, I'm just going through the chat box.
Okay, we
Which
can
question
see the
I will?
chat box is buzzing with questions, and
Yeah. So okay,
I'm
sure.
afraid we
I'll
can
just
answer all the
yeah,
questions. But
yeah.
most of us have asked this question: whether AI is
Mm-hmm.
accepted in research and academic work, can it be
Yeah.
detected, and which one is the better and reliable AI tool out of the available options?
Yeah. Oh, it's a question. That's a difficult question.
Yes, and
So
most of the participants have asked about that.
yes, exactly. So the thing is like but the thing is like there are, I mean, lots of tools. I think at the moment in the current research market, I think I mean, which is available for the public, there's always a paid version of ChatGPT, and in that I think there are several other modules, for example, for research purposes, data analytics purposes, image generation, that kind of thing in those paid version, ChatGPT 4.0. I think they do a relatively good job due to the, I mean, the due to the availability to the public. So that's one I would recommend. But the thing is, when it comes to if you publish, when you come to the publication levels and peer reviewed journals, I think they look for AI generated content very strictly. So I think some people, I think when it comes into UK, most of my supervisors, they if we for fun we generate some stuff from the I mean, AI. Whenever they just see at a glance, I think their human mind is kind of very they can exactly I mean diagnose whether it's AI or not by just reading through the I mean a few paragraphs of our I mean terms. So that is one issue. So I think ChatGPT, there's a research module. I think there are several research modules in the paid versions which you can access. So I think they do a pretty good job on research management. But the thing is, you can get ideas and insights and everything, but it's good to write it on your own for the ethical and purposes because if you whatever you write through, even if you change your now, even if you change your grammar from Grammarly, or even if you use Quillbot, all those things get detected from the Turnitin AI module. It's very I know it's very frustrating, but I think it's typically sometimes even if we write it by our own, even originally, as I told you earlier, it get detected. So it depends on the university, their I mean the academic research or the publications authority to decide the for what percentage of AI detection they are allowing. So I hope that answers the question. And there is another question saying, is there any good tool that can be used in ECG interpretation? Of course, there is. I can't remember the name. There was a probably I will send the exact link to the Sri Academy. There are tools for AI interpretation. For example, even let me just give me a second. So in my pocket, I mean, in my bag, I have this gadget, small gadget. So it can be, I'm not sure if you can see it properly. So this gadget can just keep your thumbs and this thing, it can record a 6-lead ECG. It was one of the first products which has the FDA approval from UK for ECG monitoring. So I can easily take an ECG and send anyone with a PDF like that. So those can be, I mean, it detects from the software, right? It detects atrial fibrillation and all those anomalies. So that's a very good side. So
And Dr.
so
Chamika, similarly, they
yeah,
have asked about forensic medicine and criminal law and as radiology as well, whether there
yeah,
are any available tools.
yeah. As I mentioned in the slides, I think Behold.ai, they provide a lot of AI tools for radiology. I think they have been used in so many places in throughout the world. And also, I think in the Maharagama Peksha Hospital, they use like a tool called Dragon Natural Speaking to transcribe their findings. So similarly, there are with those tools, you don't need to transcribe. I think they get them and the transcription and all the findings they generated by themselves. And when it comes to legislative and criminology. I'm not sure about that. I haven't researched about that, but I know that according to, yeah, for legal aspects, there are systems which mostly, I mean, they are not on the off-the-shelf products, but they are doing research on the, all the legal processes and this thing based on their existing legal documents and everything. So whenever you get a case scenario, legal case or the criminology, so you upload the data and it automatically uh, reads the all the context and gives you a lot of definitions of predictivity. So, but the thing is, since it's a legal thing, in UK they don't go for they haven't gone for it like on courts and stuff because it's still on trial level. So at the moment there are no products available to the market yet. Thank you.
Another question we have received is what are the challenges in implementing AI in healthcare in Sri Lanka without developing the infrastructure? And also, uh, are there any hospitals that are using AI at the moment, or is there any pilot projects going on?
Thank you. That's one of the best questions, I think. So in Sri Lanka, the context is like at the moment, the Ministry of Health is, I mean, working so hard. I mean, everybody's in the health ecosystem, I think, collaboratively with the, all the like clinicians, non-clinicians, administrators, community physicians, everybody's working so hard to digitalize systems. So at the moment, I think there are about some hospitals which has been digitized, but I'm sure they are not into the AI level yet. But I've seen there are some companies in Sri Lanka which gives, I mean, provide electronic health records to Dubai. I think their offices are located in Sri Lanka for to provide 24 hours support throughout the world. So I had opportunity to witness their systems. I think they have the AI-based clinical decision support system. For example, when you go through the all the symptom list and you tick and all those things, enter the patient's data, you get the differential diagnosis list on the right side. So you can, it's not the final one, but it gives like a insight and it flags all the drug reactions and all those things. There are endless possibility. But when it comes to Ministry of Health and this thing, it's not there yet because we have a lot of risk, I mean, constraint when it comes to infrastructure and the funding. And because there are always the technical capacities there, but the thing is, you need to build up the IT infrastructure and the systems should collect all the structured data and all the train all the data and all the systems should be able to talk to each other. For example, if I go to a private hospital, my data and next day if I go to the general hospital, the data should be available without infringing my privacy and those laws without technically. So that involves a multidisciplinary involvement. It should be based on legislative frameworks, administrative frameworks, technology, because technology is there. I mean in Sri Lanka there are tons of IT, capable IT guys. But the thing is that direction should be focused and on a one mission. Yeah, I hope that answered the question. Thank you.
And what are the education opportunities and renowned universities for further education? What are the educational materials can be used to get basic knowledge about AI in medicine?
Yes. So I think I could there are unfortunately most of the online courses are kind of paid ones. I've seen there are a lot of online courses in Harvard. Those are some of the really good ones. But you can try Udemy and Coursera. Also, they have a lot of IBM courses on basic. Can start with the basic artificial intelligence in healthcare like that, and also edX. I think they got tons of these things. And also, I think if you know, there's a no, I'll just type the name. There's a entity called slash.com. I think slash.com. They also kind of does a good job in providing education for on AI and everything. So the thing is like most of the in Sri Lanka, the AI is not explored thoroughly because we are at the preliminary stage of digitalizing I mean, all the information systems and all those things. So I think their main priority is that first, I think. But the thing is, with the rapid evolvement of the world and all the trends, I think we should laterally develop those AI trends into Sri Lanka context as well. Thank you.
Let's see another two
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
Uh, how should we improve ourselves to match with AI in upcoming years? And most of our doctors are worrying about whether the doctors will be replaced by the AI.
Yeah, that's I mean, impressive question, which I mentioned in the early stages of my presentation. So at the current context, I think there's no any indication of going towards the artificial super intelligence, like the intelligence system, which is kind of reason out think by themselves, that kind of thing. But there is a potential, as I told you in WikiLeaks, there was a open AI like ChatGPT. There's another project going on, Strawberry. So they have built up. It's not announced formally, but it's on the dark net. It's there. So it could kind of reason out things, and if you give them a problem, they can solve it in multi-stage approach, that kind of thing. But the thing is, when it comes to job security, I think if you are into, I mean, I don't think it will replace the jobs for doctors. But it will be a decision support system. That's why it says decision support system. So but the final judgment will be from the doctors. But the thing is, like, you have to be well equipped by using AI tools, because other people, I mean, rest of the world, your colleagues, they might be coming up with the impressive solution. So if you have to keep up with that. And about for at the moment, I think if you check YouTube tutorials and stuff like that, I think it's a really great way of accessing information on AI, because with free of charge. There are a lot of channels, they are doing a lot of and also you can learn about Python language. I think it's a very good when it comes to the healthcare analytics and for the predictive analytics and even for data or the big data analytics. I hope that answered the question.
This will be the final answer.
Yeah,
What roles AI play predicting outbreaks and forecasting disasters? How do we
yeah,
use AI in preventive sector?
yes, that's a good question. I think it's already exists. I think I may have not mentioned in the presentation. There's at the moment there's a software called Health Map AI. I think it has been used by some of the countries like South African and South American countries. It has been tried, and it detects, like, based on the like geopolitical systems and atmosphere, I mean environmental conditions and uh, all those things. It can, at the moment, I think they've managed to detect recent Ebola outbreak on this place. And I think it claimed, I think according to the publications, they claimed they predicted even the red dot system, not red dot, blue dot. Yeah, it predicted COVID-19 outbreak about 9 days before the WHO announced it. So based on and if you take China, I think that's a very untouched area, because I mean because their publications, most of them are in Chinese medium, which doesn't come to this part of our world. So in China, I read I think uh, there were outbreaks and everything detection system based on Chat GPT, not Chat GPT, WeChat. They use the public chat forum called WeChat, which is the only legalized social media platform. So it's under the government surveillance. So using that, they managed to detect various outbreaks within their region. So I think Health Map AI is a good tool to explore when it comes to the public health outbreaks and stuff.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chamika Senanayake, for your informative and deliberate elaborating presentation on the transformative role of AI in healthcare with its ethical considerations. We had more than 200 doctors in today's session, and your expertise has definitely provided all of us with a good understanding of this complex and evolving field. To all our participants, thank you for joining today's free program. And as mentioned earlier, the link for the feedback and post assessment questions is now available in the chat box. Kindly take a few minutes to provide your feedback and complete the post assessment. Your e certificates will be sent within the coming week as we work to ensure every participant receives their certificates without a delay. The Shri program will continue next Sunday as well with another engaging and relevant clinical topic. We warmly invite you to join us once again for another productive session. Thank you, Dr. Chamika Senanayake, for your time and for sharing your expertise. And thank you all our doctors who participated today. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday morning. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you everyone for your time. Hope you have a great weekend.